going on, you guys? You already know what time it is. Your favorite Teddy Beauty is on. So it can only be Thursday, 6 p.m. It's time for the Teddy Beauty Podcast with your favorite Teddy Beauty, Alasia, of course. And here at the Teddy Beauty Podcast, you know, our motto, we turn trauma into beauty one fuck up at a time, pain into power, okay? And I hope you guys have been doing that each episode that you have watched, whether it's from me or whether it's from someone else, okay? We are all vessels. I'm not the only one. But I'm appreciative of the ones who are tuning in every week. I hope you guys are healing the way that you need to. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves the way that you should, okay? And cutting out the things that you don't need, okay? Okay. Before we get into it, I know I said I was going to have a guest today, and that actually ties into the topic for today and what we're going to be talking about, which is crazy, but everything happens for a reason, and the show must go on. Okay? Okay. So let's get right into it. Okay? Let's get right into it. You know we got to get into the craziness of the week. I know you guys have been hearing about this Maine shooting in Maine. Yeah, he's a coward. Let me just say that. Reason why I say that is because for you to go out and shoot 18 people, kill, you know, not just shoot, you killed 18 innocent people that had nothing to do with nothing just because you were having a mental breakdown, because that's literally what it was. Excuse me. And that's why I always say, you know, everything starts up here first. You know what I mean? If you don't have the right mental capacity or you're not thinking straight, you're liable to do anything. And they're saying that this man wasn't even a confrontational person. He wasn't an angry person. He never got in trouble. He was never arrested for anything. So something has to click to somebody to say or to realize or be logical and say this man is going through something, clearly. But to shoot yourself, you know what I mean? I feel like that was a coward way out, because you did all of this stuff. You had the balls to do what you did and walk outside and take these people's lives, but then you didn't have the balls to take accountability for what you did. You understand what I'm saying? Or after your psychotic break or whatever, you finally came to your senses, now you want to kill yourself. You know what? He did the right thing, because I probably would have said the same thing. Like, just kill yourself. You know what I mean? Because that was a coward thing to do. You know, and I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was telling her, you know, I don't like the fact that people try to play God. A lot of people, you know, not even just in Maine, people wherever we live, people try to play God and take a life when they didn't even create it. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's really sad. It's fucking sad. A restaurant. Now, this one was funny. This one was funny to me. It says a restaurant goes viral after adding loud kids' feet to customers' bill. Now, baby, I gotta put my phone down for this one, because I totally agree. Okay? I totally agree. Now, if we are at a place like that's a kid's place, you know what I mean, Chuck E. Cheese and stuff like that, we can't really be bothered with that because it's a children's establishment, right? But if you're going to bring your kids to other restaurants, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say a specific restaurant. I'm just saying, you know what I mean by a specific restaurant that you take your kids to. And you just want to be, especially if it's a date, a romantic night, you don't want to be interrupted. Or if, you know, you're there with family or it's a business meeting or something, you don't want to be interrupted sometimes. Regardless, you don't want to be interrupted during dinner. Period. Especially with kids who don't know how to act. I've been to restaurants with kids who run around the restaurant kicking chairs, running, crawling under tables, you know, so, and just being loud. You know what I'm saying? And the parents don't say anything. They just let them do whatever they want to do in these people's place of business. I know you guys seen it. I've seen it in Red Lobster. And I don't even really eat Red Lobster like that because I'm not a seafood person, but I've been to Red Lobster before. I do eat chicken. But, yeah, I've seen it in a bunch of places, you know, not even restaurants, stores, Target, Walmart. You know, and I just feel like people, parents, shall we say, um, need to have those talks with their children, because we had those talks. We got in trouble before we even got inside for doing something that we didn't even do yet, because we was getting warned outside for that. Don't take your ass in here acting a fool. Don't make me say something to you that you know I shouldn't be saying. Don't do nothing that you wouldn't do if you weren't home. Like, I don't understand how those conversations I had, because, baby, I didn't do nothing to get in trouble. Because if you had that conversation outside the store, you knew your mother was serious. Okay? We got it at home. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't go in here showing your ass. Okay? You get what you get. If you don't, you don't. So I agree with the tacking on extra fees for loud children. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Definitely agree. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of other people too. Shakari, I'm sorry, because she has went off about people butchering her name. So I hope I got that right. I really hope. I really, really hope I got that right. But Sha'Carri Richardson and Shericka Jackson are nominated for the Women's World Athlete of the Year award. Excuse me, I'm all tongue-tied and stuff. But they are nominated for Athlete of the Year. And me, personally, they are both African American. So for me, like I said, it's a win-win situation for the culture. I am ecstatic that Sha'Carri, I love the fact that, she is putting on for the modern day black girls. You understand what I'm saying? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I'm talking about the girls that don't want to dull themselves down, but they want to be athletic. She wears her wig, she wears her long nails, you know what I mean? She embraces all of that, but she's still a warrior. You know what I mean? And that really speaks volumes to me, because I feel like I am that person in a way. I am very, very much woman on the outside and inside. I'm not going to say I'm a man in the inside. But I do have a athletic build to me. I have an athletic stance. I'm very athletic. I'm very competitive. I'm very aggressive when I need to be, yeah. So congratulations to each one of these females, because like I said, either way, we are bringing it home for the culture, and we appreciate both of you women for what you're doing, in period, because I can't run that fast. Okay? And it takes a lot of endurance, a lot of discipline to do what these women are doing, and I really do applaud them, seriously. So kudos to you guys. Chris Brown, I wish y'all leave my bro alone. I wish y'all would leave him alone, for real. Because after he did that thing with Rihanna, y'all just never let him live it down. And he has been really proving himself and just showing that he is the GOAT. You can't keep good people down. You can't keep talented people down. You can't keep chosen ones down. And that boy is definitely chosen. For real, for real. But he's being sued for allegedly assaulting a man in London nightclub earlier this year. Let me explain something to y'all. These are regular people. Do y'all know that? Like, I get it. When you have a certain status and stuff like that, you have to move accordingly. You have to address things in different ways. But what about normal society? They shouldn't have rules. They shouldn't know how to approach certain people, because at the end of the day, these are still human beings. You still bleed how he bleeds. He knows how to fight, I'm pretty sure. He has money, so I'm pretty sure he paid for people, even if he didn't know how to fight beforehand. He has money. He could pay somebody to teach him how to fight. So, like I'm saying, leave these celebrities alone, because then you guys want to, you nitpick and you pick these fights to then go and want to sue them. For what? You got what you wanted, but clearly you didn't get what you wanted, because what you wanted is the money. But it's just like, why start a meaningless fight or a drunk fight or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and then hide your tail and want to sue somebody. That shit is corny to me. And at the end of the day, Chris Brown seemed like a true hood nigga to me. Excuse my language. He seemed like hard down. You get what I'm saying? Like, yes, he's in the industry, but he still keeps that flame in him, and I love that. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, you gotta understand. Nowadays you fuck around and you find out. Okay? And you fucked around and you found out. But I wish Chris Brown all the best, because like I said, they just drag that boy. They drag him every chance they can. It does not even matter what he does. For real, for real. Erica Mena, I also let's switch gears again. Erica Mena, I feel bad for Erica Mena only because she really screwed herself with what she did on Love and Hip Hop, and she actually had a recent interview, and she said that she knew that she messed up, but she still just kept recording, and she just kept, going on with the whole show. But then she said once she actually, went back and just dissected everything, it was just like she knew what everybody was talking about. But in the same breath, she wanted to know, why would Spice say anything about her child when Erica was there for Spice in her time when, her kids, I guess, were hospitalized. I don't really know the whole story, but she said, she was there for her when Spice's kids were going through, medical things or whatever. She never left her side. So for Erica, felt like for her to throw that in her face as a friend, that was kind of like a, like a jab, and it was. She said it felt like a setup, and it probably was. You understand what I'm saying? But I just wish everybody the best in that, because it just seems like there's people out to get everybody now. Like, nobody's fucking safe. Nobody. Coi Leray made a post, and she said, back in the days, it was easy to define an icon. For example, Janet Jackson, Beyonce, Ree, Ciara, Missy, and many more. I noticed things changed. So I'm asking, what makes an icon today? Streams, likes, numbers, stage presence, vocals, fashion, versatility, choreography, effort, bars, lyrics. Does it not matter? What do y'all want to see? Or be honest, it doesn't even matter anymore, because it's so much going on in the industry. Viral moments is easier to digest. Question mark. And I feel like she's right in a way. She's literally right in a way. I feel like a lot of people have lost that the definition of what a icon really is, and how an icon is really created, and I, for one, am one of them. I can't sit up here and speak down on anyone or whatever. We're all learning. You know what I'm saying? We all grew up in different times, different generations. We all got taught different things, but the definition of what an icon is has definitely changed. Now it depends on how many followers you have. It depends on how many likes you have. How many collaborations you can do. And that's always been a thing. Networking is always going to be a forever thing, but it has really, you know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. I'm not even about to get all political with it and stuff. You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, I just feel like we need to pour into these real artists now. Like, there are really artists out here that are getting, like, played straight like that. You know what I'm saying? Underrated. Because, again, like Coi Leray said, and I feel like she's right, viral moments are more easier to digest, as opposed to putting in the work with a real artist. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, I don't listen to music nowadays. Like, the new music now, I try to. My daughter tries to get me to listen to it, and now I see what the older generation used to feel like when we used to play our music for them. And they're like, oh, I don't listen to this crap. This ain't music. I literally feel like that. Like, and that's crazy because I'm not even that old. So like, yeah, what's going on? Don't like that at all. But that wraps up the current events. You already know we just a little messy in the beginning of the show. Wouldn't be a show without a little mess, right? Let's welcome our new addition to the show. Okay, my nephew put this here. Our butterfly, you see it? Yeah, he put it here. It was like, Auntie Lele, I'm gonna put this here for your show. So, yeah. I know somebody was looking at that like, wait, something looked different. But anyway, let's get to the topic at hand. Today's topic, we are getting into becoming products of our own environment. Okay? And why I said that our guest today tied into that, it's an artist from Patterson, Kobe. Shout out to little bruh. You can check out his music, Apple Music. He has an album, really fire, really, 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 really fire. And he was actually supposed to come up here and tell his tatted beauty story, or his tatted story rather. But again, it's called Product of Our Own Environment, and he had to go do some time. If you know, you know. Okay? It's unfortunate that had to happen, but like I explained to him, it was all for a reset. Sometimes that man upstairs puts us in places and spots and resets that we didn't even know we needed until we're actually there. Things get taken away. We feel like we're at our prime, and then everything just crashes. I'm still dealing with that. I'm still dealing with that now. So don't ever get too comfortable with being comfortable. Okay? Like I said, this topic is product of our own environment. We all come from different walks of life. Half of us live in the hood. You get what I'm saying? And it's hard not to become a product of your own environment, especially when you're kind of scared to stand out because it's not normal to stand out certain places. Right? Right. Me growing up, I can honestly say I didn't become a product of my own environment because I had the right guidance around me. I was into sports. My mom kept me in like any and everything that I wanted to do. Like I said, anywhere from softball, basketball, singing, choirs, you know what I'm saying? Being in the band. My mother was all for that because my mother also was, is a woman that stands on, certain morals. You know what I'm saying? And my mother's not a ratchet person. She never wanted us to be around certain things. And like I said, not to say that my mother probably didn't do these things when she was younger, but that's not what she wanted for her children. You know what I'm saying? I always know my mother to be cool, calm, collected, worked in the school district. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's how I saw my mother growing up. So that's the example that I had. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't around fast females or grown adults. We weren't allowed to be around the adults. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that plays a part as well, and also ties into what I was just talking about, toxicity with parents and what you allow your kids to be around and stuff like that. You just gotta watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. Kids are like sponges. Shit, adults are like sponges sometimes. Sometimes people don't have self-control. Sometimes people don't have that discipline that they need to just be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're like being in school. You got your friends and you wanna be their friend. So naturally, you're gonna do whatever your friend asks you to do, right? Well, most of the time, me, I could say I've never been a follower. Okay, so let's just go there because being a product of your environment doesn't necessarily mean that you are a follower either. So let's backtrack there. I'm not saying that becoming a product of your environment is being a follower. I'm just saying sometimes we're not strong enough to fight that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you can say it's following in a sense, but sometimes people are just not mentally strong enough to fight whatever demons that they're fighting. And if you don't believe me, bro, I don't know how to make you believe me. You'll see it. I'm one of those people that I have to see it to believe it. I've heard plenty of stories about depression, about how to deal with anxiety, about living in the hood, about how to get out of the hood, different ways to make money. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm not dumb. I'm not naive to any of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just choosing to go about it the way that I want to, and I saying that because choose your own path. Because again, we all grow up in different walks of life. And now I'm talking to the city of Paterson right now. Anybody who views this, who is from the city of Paterson, it's rough. It's really rough out here. It's really tough out here. Everybody is out for everybody. Shouts out to the ones who are very unified, the ones who are advocating, the ones who are fighting, the ones who are fighting against, all of this bullshit that's going on out here. But there are a lot of people who have become a product of their own environment. And I'm choosing to pick my words wisely because I'm not a judgmental person at all. But the truth needs to be told, and I'm always gonna say that, and I'm always going to be very transparent with everybody. It starts at home. It really does start at home. Everything starts at home. Everything starts at home. Everything starts with the mental. Period. But if you're allowing your kids to feel like it's okay for them to be doing these things that they're doing, no. I feel like you're cheating them in a way. You're enabling them in a way. Because why would you ever want them to be a drug dealer? Or why would you ever want them to chill outside with their uncle? Yeah, that's their uncle, but you don't got to let your kids chill with their uncle when they're on the corner around a bunch of other drug dealers. They're watching people bust jugs in front of them. They're watching them disrespect women in front of them. They're watching them pistol whip somebody in front of them. They're watching somebody OD in front of them. What do you think is going to happen to that kid? What do you think? They're either going to think it's cool, they're going to be traumatized by it, you understand what I'm saying, and don't want no parts of it, which is a great thing. But why does it take for that to happen? You understand what I'm saying? Why does it have to take for that to happen for you to want to adjust your life? Why? Why do we do that? Why, as people, I'm not even going to categorize it as a culture because this is just people in general, human beings in general. Why do we never want to listen until things get real or shit hit the fan, shall we say? Why? Like, why do we always do things like that? And I don't like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, again, our guest that was supposed to be on here, he didn't know. He didn't know that he was going to have to go down in due time. Yes, he knew that he was fighting a case. You understand what I'm saying? But he did not know that he was going to get that phone call like, oh, next week you have to do such and such time. And that was because at a young age, little bruh decided to do whatever he did, and I'm not going to tell his story because I don't know his full story. When I saw little bruh, or when I was outside rather, I think he was only like 9 or 10 or something like that. So, and I was already out of high school. Oh, chill, I'm showing my age. Oh, but anyway, so he became a product of his environment, the people that he grew up around. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that he grew up to be a bad person. I'm not saying that at all. But later on down the line, the consequences of that landed him where he is now. You understand what I'm saying? You can't always think that things are not going to catch up with you. You understand what I'm saying? That's another part of growth too. You know, that's something that I had to, oh boy, that's a big lesson that I had to learn. Okay. And it's not to say, let me get something clear, okay? I don't do people wrong. I've never done people wrong. You understand what I'm saying? And that's something that I am very, very thankful of. And that's another way of becoming a product of your environment, because you can become very nasty being around other nasty people. It's not just community based. Understand that. You can become um, a really evil person being in the wrong relationship. You know, transfer energy. We talk about that all the time. That shit is real. Okay? That shit is really, really real. If you are in a very, we could say hoarders. If you're in a hoarding situation, you get what I'm saying, and you have no control over it, you adjust to that lifestyle. So then you never clean up. So now things are just piling. And this is something that you become comfortable with, even though you know it's wrong, or even though you know it's disgusting to live in. You understand what I'm saying? I see a lot of stories, I see a lot of documentaries about hoarders. And it's sometimes we think to ourselves like, oh, just clean that shit up. You could have just cleaned that up. Like, ew, why would you? I know your mother didn't raise you like that, but depression is real, bro. Um, Seasonal depression, I don't care what it is. That shit is real. And some people don't want to clean, so they wind up becoming hoarders. Some people eat uncontrollably. You understand what I'm saying? And it's because they can't get a hold of themselves mentally. You get what I'm saying? Which AKA they become a product of their environment, because 9 times out of 10 they were around other unstable people. Other unstable people who didn't have the guidance to give them, so they were just left to fend by themselves. And sometimes that's not the right way to go. I know we all want to be independent. I know we all want to be that person that just want to be like, you know, I did this myself. But we all need help sometimes. We all need the help sometimes. Like, no lie. I have been a very prideful person when it comes to that. Asking for help, asking people, you know what I mean, to help me just do certain things, because I just didn't want to feel like I was depending on people. You know what I'm saying? But it's not dependent on people. It's just really, sometimes we really need that help, because our minds can really drive us fucking crazy. And I've seen it happen. I really have. I talked about my sister and how, you know, I don't even really know how she really passed away. Yes, they told me it was a heart attack, but I don't know. I don't even want to get all emotional about that. But yeah, I just feel like my sister just like gave up a little bit, which is why a lot of other people give up. You know, they just don't see another way out. And I'm here to tell you, there are a lot of ways out. There are a lot of ways out. You know, I know I have been touching a lot of people. I know I've been touching a few people. I have gotten messages, and shouts out to those people who have been messaging me and letting me know that my messages have been hitting them, whether it's about, you know, dealing with their children, or being a parent, being an adulting, healing. You know, I'm very appreciative of those conversations, because I really live this every single day. I really advocate for mental health every single day. I am a DSP worker, so I literally have clients that I go to every day, and I motivate them, and I advocate. I allow them. Well, my job is to get them to advocate for themselves, shall we say? You know, speak up for themselves. You know, and get them ready for the outside world, because this world is changing every day. You know, so again, I literally live this every day. I live with my nephew who has ADHD. You know, I have anxiety myself. So everything that I speak to you guys about, I knowingly have knowledge of it, because I literally live it every single day of my life. Every single day. And it is a challenge. It's definitely a challenge, but it's something that I appreciate more and more every day, because it's helping me with my personal growth, with the version of myself that I want to be. It's literally getting me there, you know. And sometimes, Sometimes the things that you ask for, you don't get them the way that you think they're gonna come. It comes totally fucking different. So you have to adjust, but it's worth it in the end, you know. And I'm just so glad that I didn't turn into the evil that was around me. I'm so glad that I didn't turn into the demons that were around me. And I'm not necessarily even saying people. I'm talking about jobs, substances, and everything on this earth, basically. You understand what I'm saying? It just doesn't have to be people. People think that becoming a product of your environment just means people. No. Crackheads, alcoholics, you understand what I'm saying? And that comes from being around certain individuals or being around certain crowds or being in certain situations where it's available or it's free. I remember when I was younger, shit, we had people that used to bring us in the liquor store. I wasn't even 18 yet. Like, and the legal age is 21. We all know that. But they bringing us in the store getting liquor. You know what I mean? Who's to say that a lot of the alcoholics that we see nowadays, that's not how they started off? Becoming a product of your environment. You understand what I'm saying? You could have said no to the bottle. You could have said after a while, all right, this ain't for me, because different strokes for different folks. I was a drinker back then. I'm cool now. But sometimes people love that feeling so much. That feeling of feeling that void that they don't have to feel. You understand what I'm saying? That they become so comfortable and it's just like, all right, cool. This is what I know, and I'm just gonna stay here. And some people feel like they're not worthy. Some people feel like they're not worth it. So they're just like, okay, my friends are doing it. So if my friends ain't changing, why should I? Why shouldn't you? Is my question. Why shouldn't you? Because not for nothing, I have seen it and I've also been through it. There's only a couple of people or a few people that will genuinely be by your side and not want to watch you or see you fumble or fall. But then there are a lot of people that will literally traumatize you again and again and again and again, just to help you try to get over the trauma that they've created. And it's like, how, Sway? You can't try to coach me through the trauma that you're building on me. That's a fucking oxymoron if I've ever seen one or ever heard of one. Okay? It blows my mind, but we are living in that type of world right now. Like, seriously, it's becoming okay for people to feel like they can do you wrong and still smile in your fucking face or still act like nothing is wrong. But then become so shocked, when you black out on their ass. Yeah? Yeah. That clock knew this timer knew when to shut me up. It knew when to... What? He may not be there when you need him, but he always on time. Ain't that what they say? That's what they say. But you already know. Shades out. Lays out. Period. Oh, I like that. Shades out, lay out. Yeah. Shades out, lays out. Yeah, I like that. But it's time for Isn't It Shady? You already know. So, isn't it shady that these insurance companies, okay, we just gonna get into it because I got a lot of little rants. I hate adulting, okay? And I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible. But I've been going through it since I got my car got hit, right? And I tried to do the responsible thing and keep my insurance on my car because I didn't want to later on have to like put it back on once they got fixed or whatever. So I kept that on there, and then I added my truck to the insurance because I'm like, just put both of them on there, boom, 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 whatever. Baby, I'm thinking I'm only gonna pay a certain amount or whatever because I went down there, did everything I need to do, told her to write the numbers down on the paper. Baby, tell me why I got a bill in the mail like 2 days ago. I ain't even gonna tell y'all what it said. Like, just know it was extra funds than what I paid at the actual insurance agency. I called them immediately. You understand me? I said, what is this? Like, what is this? And I literally asked her before I left, are there going to be any other fees? Because of course we all know there's going to be hidden fees somewhere, but let me know, prepare me. That's where the shade came in for me. Because I know y'all like, well, where's the shade? Bitch, it was shady that baby girl didn't let me know when I asked her, would there be any more hidden fees? She said no. You lied. You lied. Okay. Yeah. So, but shouts out to baby for baby to for keeping me calm in that situation, you know. Cause it could have got really ugly. It could have got really ugly, and I didn't want it to get ugly. I really didn't, but everything is getting settled with that. Let's just say adulting is very ghetto. Like, it is, bro. Like, I say this all the time, and I be joking when I say it sometimes, but I know somebody else agree with me. Adulting is ghetto, but we gotta do it, right? Told him I'm gonna sue my mother, because nobody asked you. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't. I really didn't. Now, I ain't giving nobody no ideas. Don't go out there suing y'all moms and shit. No. I love you, mom. But yeah, let's switch back into gears. Becoming a product of your environment. Okay? Like I said, it goes so much further than your community. You know what I mean? Why do you think people that go to prison, you know, they go crazy? They go in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day and they only come outside for an hour. Sometimes they don't come out at all. You don't think that does something to your mental? That does a lot to your mental. You know, you're watching people get stabbed up every day. You know, you're watching people get raped every day. Or almost every day. Because I'm not going to sit here and say things happen every day in prison. But depending on what side you're on, it probably does. But again, who's to say, or who are we to judge somebody when they do come out and say that, or compare them to somebody else? Compare them to another brother that just got out a couple of years ago or a couple months ago and he's doing better than him. They're not on the same mental level. Clearly. And I feel like a lot of people judge people off of the way that they look instead of understanding their mental. You understand what I'm saying? Like, or their spirit, rather. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things have become just eye base. You know what I mean? It just looks. Oh, it looks good. Oh, they look okay. Oh, this seems okay. You know what I mean? Until you dissect. You know? That's just like surgery. They don't know what's going on with you until they open your body. You don't know what's going on with people until you open up to them or until you allow them to open up to you or get them to open up to you. Again, I work in DSP work. Sometimes my clients ignore the shit out of me. But I can't go ahead and get an attitude with them. No, I have to pull back. I have to redirect myself. You understand what I'm saying? And then I have to regroup because they're not on the same, I'm not going to say level, but they don't comprehend things the way that we do or as fast as we do sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? So I say that to say, just be patient with people. You know, I'm not saying let people run all over you or whatever, but just be patient. You don't know what has adjusted these people. What has made these people turn into the person that they are? What circumstances landed them there? And no, I'm not saying have a pity party because that's where accountability comes in. That's where that comes in at, you know? I literally had a conversation with my little sister and she unfortunately has her children's father. You know, he's incarcerated. He's been incarcerated damn near all their life. You know, and she has to deal with the fact that, you know, he doesn't know how to take accountability for anything that he's done, but he's allowing his environment in there to create this picture in his mind that he's just this this great father who's fighting for his children, and everything is my kids, my kids, my kids, my kids, instead of taking the accountability and noticing that, bro, you don't, or you're not as close to your children because of what you decided to do, or because of what you didn't decide to do, rather. You know what I mean? You wanted to be this drug dealer, you wanted to be a gangbanger, you wanted to be all of this, and it landed you where you are now, which is the reason why you don't have the relationship with your children. So if I'm talking to anybody who is a baby mother who's dealing with something like that, don't allow your children's father or anybody to make you feel wrong for protecting your kids against things like that, you know? Because I used to ask myself that too, like, why do mothers keep, or why have certain mothers kept their kids away from their fathers when they went to prison? And now I see why. Now I see why. Like, yes, I was totally against it at first and stuff, but in that kind of situation where the father is not willing to take accountability, but always trying to come at the mother when she's doing an amazing job, the kids never need or want for nothing, but that's not even their biggest thought, which is the crazy part. That's why I said they become a product of where they are, because they just feel like it's me, 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 me. And it's like, you've said nothing about your children, for real. It's just, oh, my kids, my kids, my kids. You're doing this, you're doing that, talking to the mother. But when in that conversation did you ever say, well, can I speak to my kids? How are they doing? You just always want to go for the jugular. You know what I mean? You got to stop doing that. We really got to stop doing that. I have also become very angry. At one point, I could say, because of the relationship that I was in, and this was a while ago. I'm not talking about my last relationship. I'm actually talking about a couple of years ago. Actually, this was like almost 10 years ago, I'd say, or maybe more than that. Anyway, I actually became really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, depressed. Like, I became depressed with her. Like, I was good. You understand what I'm saying? But I feel like I became a little depressed with her because it was like she couldn't get out the mental prison that she was in. I couldn't get her out of that. So it was kind of like I just fell into it with her, because in a way it was like I wasn't that selfish person to just walk out on somebody. I'm still not that selfish person just to walk out on people when I see that they need someone, or when I've been there for the whole freaking process. I just can't leave anybody's thinking. So that was what the situation was. It was like, I'm not gonna leave you in this. I can't leave you in this. I don't know how to. You understand what I'm saying? Because I would want somebody to be there for me in that same light. You know what I'm saying? She had just got out of jail, even though it wasn't her fault. You know, it was a lot of stuff that she was dealing with. But she became a product of where she was. Literally. It just was, oh, I'm against the white man. Oh, this and that. Oh, this and, you know, and it became really, really, really overwhelming for me after a while. So I kind of became a little angry too, because it was like I was always around it every day. She was always talking to me every day. She was always making certain comments about certain things every day, you know? So it was just like, sometimes I couldn't even help it. I really couldn't even help it. But it was a mutual thing that we both, you know what I mean? We didn't want to really break up, but it had to happen. You know what I'm saying? It really had to happen. She wound up going back home, and I stayed out here. And yeah, I hope everything with her is fine. But again, like I said, it just doesn't have to be the streets. It doesn't. This doesn't have to be categorized as the streets. You know, I wish everybody would understand that. Seriously, even habits. Just like I said, I explained some of them. Alcohol, smoking. You know what I'm saying? Coke, whatever. Shit, working out. The fuck? Like, you can become a product of that environment in a negative way, though. You don't see all these people that be popping veins in their neck and they, I don't know. I don't know. Is there such thing as too healthy? Or being too fit, like muscular and stuff like that? Because I've heard stories about that. It's not really healthy to get that big. But again, you become so consumed in the gym, you seeing all these people around you. You understand what I'm saying? And you just want to get buff. Now it becomes a little competition. You feel what I'm saying? You trying to get bigger than old boy. Not knowing what old boy's dietary plan is. Not knowing what vitamins he takes. Not knowing if he's even doing anything for real. And in all actuality, you fucking yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to think smarter here as human beings, as adults, okay? Like, seriously, don't be out here just following people or doing something because you think it's cool. And it starts young. It really starts young. It really, really does. Like, if I don't stress that hard enough, it starts young. It starts really young, okay? We gotta start checking these kids when we see them doing these certain shit in the street. Y'all don't think that makes a difference, or that wouldn't make a difference? You know, I see these little kids out in the street. I don't care how many times they want to curse me out or whatever. I'm going to tell them about themselves. And do you know now when they see me in my driveway or whatever, they know what to say and what not to say when they're passing my vehicle. Now, if I'm not outside, I would pray that they're still not doing certain things that I told them they shouldn't be doing, because at the end of the day, I'm sure if your mother was standing right here, you would not be doing that in front of your mother. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, as a community, if we really speak about unity and the people that really are out here talking about empowerment and doing this and doing that, do that in your everyday life. You don't have to do seminars to empower people. We don't. You understand what I'm saying? It starts in the inner city. It starts on the street. You know what I'm saying? Some people in the hood can't even afford TVs. They don't even be in the house enough to watch the TV. We got to be out here advocating on these streets. And if I got to do it from my driveway every chance I get, I'm going to do that. If I got to do it from in front of this camera every chance I get, I'm going to do that. Because I've never been with the facades, and I honestly got like annoyed with it, you know. And that was another example of becoming a product of your environment. I felt like I was becoming a robot a little bit, you know, doing certain things that I did not see myself doing. You know, yes, the initial intention behind it was great. That's why I agreed to do these things. But once I got on board with it, it was like, and I seen the type of person that this person or these certain individuals were, it was just like, you're a hypocrite. So why would I even want to attach myself to that? So I find myself falling back. You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes you get caught up in wanting to do so good for yourself and wanting to your vision to come to life, you know, where it's just it's right there. It's literally right there. You can fucking taste it. You can feel it. It's just right there in arm's reach. You know what I mean? And you will get people that will really test you, to see how far you will go, to see if you will sell your soul, basically. And I felt that there were a lot of situations like that coming toward me, so I fell back. And this was before COVID, so let's not categorize anything. Let's this ain't that, okay? Not that important. So again, like I said, I almost became that robot, and I almost allowed people to really control where I went, what I did, this and this and that. You understand what I'm saying? And it was just like, nah, I'm good on that. I actually went through what they call a tower moment, a reset. Basically, it was like, girl, you need that. My truck got repoed. Like I said, it was years ago. My truck wound up getting repoed. So no, I couldn't go the places that I needed to go. You know, yeah. I can't even like, uh, I never wish any of that on anybody. You understand what I'm saying? That transfer of energy is real. Being around the right people, being around the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit matters. And I don't know how many times I can say this. If you need to isolate yourself, do that. Okay? A lot of people feel like growth comes from being around people. And sometimes, yes. I'm not saying sometimes in personal growth you need to be around certain people if you want to get to a certain level in life. I'm not taking that away from you, not one bit. Not one bit. Community definitely matters. Your circle definitely matters. That definitely matters. But that's not everything that you need. And you don't really need that all the time. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who walk alone, and they walk alone for a reason. Not because they're mad at the world or because they hate people. It's because they have been through so much. They have seen so much. You understand what I'm saying? That they're not trying to go backwards. They're not trying to slip into old habits. They're not. AKA me. That's why I pick and choose where I want to go. It's not that I feel like I'm better than anybody. It's not that I feel like, anybody is beneath me. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all. Nothing at all. But me and my group of friends, we've all been this way. We've never been street people. I don't know. I don't know. We all come from the hood. So yeah, we all chill outside. We all chill outside. But I don't think all of us categorize ourselves as hood chicks and females. I mean, hood chicks and dudes. You know what I mean? I don't believe we all do that. We all have a bigger purpose for ourselves. So why keep yourself in a bubble? Why? Because somebody outside might say, "Oh, you acting funny," because that's literally what happens. And I feel like that's why a lot of people stay where they are. Because of the ridicule they're going to get from their friends, because of the support that they don't get from their family or their friends. So now it's just like, okay, well, I'm going to just stay in the hood where my friends is at because this is where the love is at. That ain't love. And if your friends or anybody really loved you, they would be pushing you to be a better person, pushing you to be the better version of yourself, no matter where you are on this earth. No matter if y'all together, no matter if y'all right next to each other. I don't care if y'all on different sides of the world, different time zones, different days. That will never matter. That will never matter. You understand what I'm saying? And I just feel like there's a lot of people, a lot of friend groups who enable their friends. And that's why people become a product of their fucking environments. Peer pressure is because people become product of their environments because they're not strong enough. Mentally. They're not taught that at home because their parents aren't strong enough mentally to teach them it's a ripple. Everything is a ripple effect. Every single thing that we do is a ripple effect, right? So why not reverse that if you can? And like I said, you don't have to think you're better than anybody. It's not about being better than anybody. I just want better for me. I'm sorry about that. I just want better for me. I want better for my child. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want that for yourself and your children, then what are you living for? We don't all have to conform just because we were born here. We don't all have to stay here just because we were born here. And again, I applaud anybody who has made it out of their circumstances, who has never become a product, well, not never, but who has fought hard to not become or stay a product of their environment, because it's very easy to become a product of your environment. But to fight against that, to not become that, to fight against the odds, that takes strength. That takes discipline on a whole nother level. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to teach yourself that. Sometimes your parents is not going to teach you that. I'm so serious. You know what I mean? Some people never get taught love. And I don't even know that. I don't even know how that happens. I am a very loving person. Very, very loving person. I don't even know. Sometimes it gets sickening to me that I want to hate people sometimes, but I just love so hard that I still love you, but girl, I don't like you. You know what I mean? So it's just like, for people to grow up in that kind of environment is sad, because then those are the people that walk out on this earth and they're just so miserable, and they bleed on people that didn't even cut them. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how we get a lot of lonely people out here, and a lot of people that feel like love isn't possible. But it's because you didn't fight hard enough to even understand the kind of love that you deserve. You've never even felt love, and you've never even had your guard down enough to even feel what it's like to be loved correctly. So now you're just out here sabotaging yourself, and you're out here fucking other people up mentally and causing other people's trauma because you weren't strong enough to fight against what you didn't know. You understand what I'm saying? You weren't strong enough to fight for yourself. And I don't care if that sounds cruel, but somebody needs to hear that. I felt like somebody needed to hear that. So that's my word for today. Okay? If I can leave you with anything. All right? That's what I'm going to leave you with. Seriously, I know I'm talking to somebody. Fight for yourself. Because if you're not strong enough to fight for yourself, you can't be out here then trying to blame other people for where you're not. Fight for yourself. Get up and do it for yourself. Even if you have kids, I know you have to get up and do it for them, but you got to do it for you first. Because if you can't show up for yourself, how could you show up for your kids? If you ain't making yourself happy, how could you make your kids happy? Or genuinely happy, or authentically happy? Instead of covering it up with a smile. Because kids see that after a while. You start to unravel after a while. They get older. So fight for you. Be strong enough to do it for you. I'm for real. I'm so serious, okay? Like, for real. I know I just got serious, but I know I feel like I was talking to somebody. Just as I do every time I turn this camera on, I feel like I'm talking to somebody. Because I'm also still learning. I'm still growing. And I'm very thankful of the support system that I do have. From my daughter to, the person that I am dating now. I am appreciative. My sister, my mother, my brother, they have no idea. My extended family, the ones that I have adopted as my family, my best friends. I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate you in ways that you couldn't possibly fathom. Like, for real. So if I can be a vessel and a light, like I said, to somebody else, I'm going to do that. Okay, I love you guys. And as always, we turn pain into power and we turn trauma into beauty here, one fuck up at a time on Tatted Beauty Podcast with your favorite Tatted Beauty, Alasia, on the ones and twos. I'll see you guys next time.